Look closely. You'll usually notice your own imagined scenarios fall into one of three patterns. The first is the argument you never got to finish. You're explaining yourself, defending your choices, finally saying the thing you didn't say in the moment. The second is the future you're aching for. Recognition, success, someone finally admitting they were wrong about you. It feels motivating in small doses, but it can quietly turn into a hiding place instead of a launching pad. And the third is the disaster that hasn't happened yet. What if they misread what I meant? What if this goes wrong? What if I fail in front of everyone? Your mind starts building defenses for a war that may never actually arrive. Here's the pattern most people never connect. People who do this often share one specific trait. They spend an enormous amount of mental energy thinking about how others perceive them, not out of vanity, but because their mind is constantly scanning for social danger, constantly trying to get ahead of misunderstanding, rejection, or embarrassment before it happens. So the brain does what it knows how to do. It rehearses, over and over, in private, where nothing can go wrong, because you're the one writing every line. And that's exactly why these imagined scenes can start to feel better than real life. In your head, you control the outcome. People respond exactly the way you need them to. The conversation lands exactly where you want it to land. Real interactions are messier, slower, and far less predictable. So without ever deciding to, some people quietly start preferring the version they can control over the version that's actually happening in front of them. I want you to pause again for a second, because this next part matters. Ask yourself honestly, is there a real conversation you've been avoiding? One you keep rehearsing in your head instead of actually having? Not to judge yourself for it, just to notice it, because noticing is where anything changes. Here's the part that took me the longest to understand about myself. Imagination was never the enemy. It's one of the most powerful tools your brain has. It's the same mechanism that lets you plan, create, solve problems you haven't faced yet, and prepare for hard conversations before you walk into them. The issue was never that I imagined things. The issue was when imagining quietly replaced doing, when the rehearsal became the whole performance and the actual stage sat empty, because growth doesn't happen in the version of the conversation you perfected in the shower. It happens in the real one, the clumsy one, the one where you might not say it exactly right, but you say it anyway. The relationships that matter get built in real rooms, not imagined ones. The confidence you're rehearsing for only becomes real once you've actually stood in front of the moment you were preparing for.